Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, we're going to be talking about the week ahead analysis. We're going to go through the strengths and weaknesses of the currencies and identify some areas that we can target going into next week. Now, the stronger currencies of last week were the pound, the Australian dollar, CAD and Swiss, and the weaker currencies were the euro, the US dollar and yen. What's interesting about the dollar, it was at a reversal zone last week and it started to drop that strength now, so we could start to look for opportunities, especially against those stronger currencies like the Australian dollar and the pound. I quite like the opportunity to look at the Australian dollar against the euro, because we looked at that on Monday previously where we looked at a head and shoulders pattern. So we'll go take a look at that market, and I quite like the opportunity to sell the dollar against the likes of the CAD and sell the yen against CAD as well, because in a previous video we did a couple of weeks ago we talked about CAD yen potentially moving higher, and that has broken higher now. So I like the opportunities surrounding those markets. So let's dive in. Let's talk about dollar CAD first, because we initially wanted, or when we talked about dollar CAD previously, we talked about this run up here and how that could extend back up into the swing highs at 128.20. However, that didn't happen in the end. The dollar started to roll over here, CAD started to gain strength, and we saw a price drop to the downside. Now what's interesting now is we've formed a new lower low, price was broken through, we've moved to the downside, and we've also taken out this previous structural low as well as this trend line support running through here. So lots of factors here to suggest that the dollar CAD could move lower. Even this weekly is suggesting that price could move lower, with sort of targets being down into sort of the 122s or even down into the demand zones at 1.2060. So definitely some opportunities for dollar CAD to move to the downside. I think what I'll be looking for on the daily time frame is that if price can pull back maybe into this sort of 125.70 area where these previous structural lows are, and see price form a bearish candlestick, that would be an opportunity to continue to get short in the line with this downtrend that we're seeing here, because the market forms lower lows and lower highs. Moving on to Aussie US dollar then. So like we said, Aussie was one of the strongest currencies last week, dollar one of the weaker ones. Could we start to see Aussie US dollar move higher? In the previous week ahead analysis video that we did, we talked about these low ranging candlesticks, and nothing's really changed here. We've got this significant rally out the market, and the pullback's been very shallow. We've seen just low ranging candlesticks coming into play, so that would suggest that now we're going to start seeing a potential impulse to the upside. And if the weekly is going to form that impulse, you know, we would expect price to test the previous structure high at least, which would be around about 0.7460. So this level in here would be an area that I would be interested in price coming into in the short term. Now, if we are going to see that impulse phase, the daily should start to create higher highs and higher lows. And what we can see here at the moment is the fact that price is actually creating this inverse head and shoulders pattern. So what I would like to see is price trade above these highs. If we get an extension up into these highs here, then we could look for the retracement phase, look for price to retest the neckline as support, and look for a continuation back up into this 7460 area. Alternatively, if price is going to impulse higher, then we could look at the 4-hour time frame, look for the 4-hour trend to break here. At the moment, the 4-hour is making higher highs and higher lows. If price is going to reject there, make a higher high, we could see a continuation from this point as well. Just something to back this up, the commercials on the commitment of trader reports are still heavily long here. They have also added long positions, so they're seeing incredible value at this point. So we could see the Australian dollar gain some strength. That leads us on to Euro Aussie. We talked about the fact that Euro Aussie was at a critical level last week, which was around about this 159 area. Could we see a break or bounce? We were favouring downside because of the Australian dollar strength in the market, and we can see that now this head and shoulders pattern has completed, and now we want to look for price to trade down to the next support area, which we pointed out was around about 156.70, where we have this zone where the market has come into numerous times in the past and rejected. So I'm expecting price to drop down into this zone through here, so I want to be looking for lower highs to come into play. A lower high could come in at resistance, could come in at the 159 area. It could also come in a little bit higher up depending on the market conditions. We may see price rally to 1.6, but I highly doubt price will retrace that much for a move down, to be honest. I think if we get low ranging candlesticks at 159, it'd be good enough to look for shorts down into this 156.80 area. Finally then, CAD yen, we spoke about the fact that we were getting these low ranging closes, or at least the range closes back within each other. What I mean by that is when a market forms a high and a low, the next candle then closes within that previous candle's high and low. And then what we saw here was an inside bullish candlestick, which has now led to a continuation of this monthly move. If we go into the daily time frame here, we can see that price has now really extended away and completed that higher high pattern where the market came in, rallied up through here. So what I'm going to be looking for is, again, just a small pullback. I don't think we'll see a big retracement on these markets unless something fundamentally really changes here. Like we spoke about on the yen before, the Bank of Japan have talked about further easing, which could devalue their currency further, which looks like it is going to happen against the stronger currencies like the Canadian dollar. And this area in here interests me around about 88.40. If I go down to the 4-hour area, we can see that this is also the previous structure on a 4-hour trend. So if price can make its way back down into this area, form a nice reversal pattern, I'd happily look for some long positions in and around this 88, 84. What would that look like on a daily? Maybe just some low ranging candlesticks. A candlestick that closes back within the previous range would be ideal then to look for long opportunities. Thanks for watching this video update. I'm going to leave that here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really close to that 5,000 subscriber mark now, and we'd really love for you to hit that subscribe button if these videos help you and your trading journey. Also got some good videos coming up this week. We've got a strategy video coming up this week, so stay tuned for that one, and I will speak to you this week.